everyone, my name is Maria and you as usually are watching our video tutorial, and today we are going to have very interesting and very general talk about DeFi. So if you are a newcomer, it will be especially interesting for you, and if you are professional trader or well-experienced one, maybe you will find something interesting and improve your knowledge about DeFi in details. So let's not waste our time and start. So DeFi, which means decentralized finance. So what is it all about? So we all know Bitcoin. I think it is one of the most popular cryptocurrencies among people who are not into crypto world at all. So as you know, it is a form of money that isn't controlled by any central bank or government. And it can be transferred to anyone from everyone around the world without the need of a bank or other financial institution. So we can call Bitcoin decentralized money. You understand why? Yes, because there is no central authority. So there's the opposite. There is CeFi, it is centralized finance. So if you don't understand what it's about, I think you use it practically every day. All of us do. And I think that's why Bitcoin came into the market at the first place, because people needed something not controlled by someone, decentralized thing. So let's return to centralized finance, or CeFi. So our financial system, usual one, and all its services, banks, stock markets, insurance companies, and other, are completely centralized. So they all have someone in charge, whether it be a company or a person that controls and offers these services. So there are some risks, of course, and we should mention them, that it's mismanagement, fraud, or corruption. So, of course, we are going to talk about risks in DeFi, but in CeFi, some people think that in centralized finance there are practically no risks and so on, so they are wrong, of course. So DeFi, decentralized finance, as the opposite. So let's see why DeFi appears and why do people use it. At first, of course, it have no central authority or someone in charge. So it means that DeFi doesn't include in itself any risks that CeFi has. It is also automatically working and so on. So it improves the efficiency of the process greatly. What is more, it is transparent. So transparency as a feature, you can verify all history of everything that happens in DeFi protocols. And the last feature, it is speed, of course, faster settlement. It is very important in cryptocurrency and I think in the world in general. So if you go to the bank, for example, and you want to transfer money in the other country, you need to sign a contract, wait for it to be approved, then pay huge fees for it, or for signing a contract at all. And then you will wait for a couple of days maybe, or for a couple of hours. With DeFi and cryptocurrency in general, it is much faster and easier. So we are going to talk about DeFi and separate it in components. And the first component is going to be infrastructure for programming and running decentralized finance. So it is the most important one. Why it appeared? Because it had infrastructure for programming. Without it, it would be impossible. And of course, we are going to talk about Ethereum. So Ethereum, as you all know, it is do-it-yourself platform for writing decentralized programs, also known as decentralized apps or dApps. So if you go to, for example, this DeFi project or something, you will see launch app or something. It is all about it. So through the use of Ethereum, we can write automated code, also known as smart contract, that manage any financial service we'd like to create in a decentralized manner. So it is very important, and it is one of the first and the main blocks of it. Through Ethereum, people started to think wider, and that's when DeFi appeared as a sphere in cryptocurrency. So, second component, and also very important one, everything needs money, of course. So, decentralized or stable money. Here we are going to talk about stable coins, and it is the cryptocurrencies that back to the value of a real world asset, usually some major currencies like US dollar or something. There are plenty of them, and you can ask why you or people didn't use Ethereum or Bitcoin and use stable coins, I mean. So as for Bitcoin, it is really, as we have already discussed, completely decentralized. It has only very basic programmable functionality. And it is not compatible with the Ethereum platform. Ether, on the other hand, is compatible and programmable. However, it is also highly volatile. That's why stablecoin come onto the scene. And here we are talking about DAI. So DAI is a decentralized cryptocurrency pegged against the value of US dollar, meaning one DAI equals to one US dollar. Unlike other popular stablecoins whose value is backed by directly US dollar, Reserve's DAI is backed by crypto collaterals. So it is over collateralized, and it is ERC20 token. So it is built on Ethereum blockchain, truly trustless and decentralized stablecoin, we can say. So over collateralized, what does it mean? It means that if you lock up in a deposit one worth of Ether, you can borrow 66 cents worth of DAI. As soon as you want your Ether back, just pay back the DAI you borrowed and the Ether will be released. If you don't have any Ether to lock up as a collateral, you can just buy DAI on the exchange. Because DAI is over collateralized, even if the Ether price becomes extremely volatile, the value of a locked Ether backing the DAI in calculation will most likely remain at 100% or more. So it's about volatility and the price going up and down. That means volatility. So the third defined component that is going to be, we talked about this one, it is decentralized financial services, of course. So we had the base programming thing, then money, stable coins, and then we need financial services to use this all and to create this all. So first component in this component or subcomponent, let's call it like this. So it is DEX or decentralized exchange. As its features, it operates according to the set of rules or smart contract that allows users to buy, sell, or trade cryptocurrencies. There is no exchange operator, no signups, no identity verification, and no withdrawal fees. So you don't need to pass any KYC, do registration, go through this registration. Really, sometimes it's huge and takes a lot of your time. And unlike a centralized exchange, there is often no need to deposit funds into an exchange account before conducting a trade. So it eliminates the major risk of exchange hacking, which exists for all central exchanges. So you just can connect your wallet and you will decide what to do with the funds, so you can trade and so on. And for centralized exchange, you go into there, do all this registration stuff, KYC and so on, and only after it you can make a deposit. So you send your money to this exchange, and if something happens with the exchange, your money can be lost forever. And here you can have your money on your wallet. And before you trade or do something with it, it is safe on your wallet. So that's why I think really DeFi became so highly popular in really short period of time, because it is much easier. It doesn't have risks that people usually have. For example, we all use, of course, centralized finance, and we talked about risks, but we have no other choice really. But here, we have like two options: use centralized exchange, centralized thing in cryptocurrency, yes, or use DeFi. And some people, especially newcomers, they are afraid of everything. I mean, they are of course afraid of losing their money. They are not so good at understanding and so on. So they prefer the easier version, for example, of trading and so on, or for keeping funds on their wallet. And that's why they use DeFi. And I think it's great. But of course, if you are like more to store your funds on the exchange, centralized one, it's also okay. But for example, for changing, not for trading maybe, but sometimes you need fast swapping, fast changing one cryptocurrency into another, and so on. And you don't want to pay huge fees for withdrawal, for example, from the exchange. That's why, and that's the case when you use DeFi. So you can compare both sides, but I think DeFi makes everyone's life much easier. So, and of course, second component of this decentralized financial services, it is decentralized money markets. So it is service that connects borrowers with lenders. You can lend your crypto out and earn interest, or you can deposit your crypto as collateral and borrow against it. It is autonomous, of course, management of loan terms. And if we talk about earning interest on cryptocurrency loan, we can talk about yield farming. It is a term given to the effort of putting crypto assets to work while seeking to generate the most returns possible. So I have already had a huge introductory video about yield farming, so you can watch it if you're interested in it, and if you're interested in making profit. We are not going to stop on this in details today, but still. So yes, and last term, it's not a component of something. I think many of you have heard about the term of money lega. What does it mean in terms of DeFi, and what does it mean in general? So DeFi services works in conjunction with one another, making it possible to mix and match different services to create a new and existing opportunities. These kind of operations resembles different Lego blocks, and when you put it one onto another, you create something new, something bigger, something prettier, I don't know. So here it is the same situation. For example, I have a picture here. So you can go to an exchange, locate an exchange, then trade Ethereum for DAI, lend DAI for interest, and insure your funds. Yes, I forgot to talk about, we talked about decentralized exchange, we talked about loan and borrowing system, and of course, the third component, everyone wants to be sure, so that's why we need insurance. And now we see that a lot of projects are going into this sphere, because for some time it was, I think, lack of such services, of such projects. So, and now I think everything is okay with it. So you can choose, there are a variety of them. So, and as the last thing that we are going to talk about today, of course, it's risk. DeFi also has some risks. Minor one, in my opinion, maybe in your opinion, it is much bigger than centralized finance. Who knows? It's up to you always. So the first risk I should mention that it is still very young sphere. So DeFi is really, because of its popularity, of course, it is developing very fast. And all this really makes it better. So, but still it is young. So you should be aware of this fact. Some loopholes are not, people are not aware of some loopholes. So, of course, that is why, especially if you are new in DeFi, you should use an amount of money that you can afford to lose in case of everything goes wrong. It can go wrong because you did something wrong, or because the price is volatile, or because the platform is something happened with it. Who knows? But still be aware of this fact and use small amounts of money, comfortable for you. The last risk I should mention, and I think most people don't know this fact, that some services may be only partially decentralized, keeping some centralized aspect that can act as weak point. So in that way, smart contracts have had issues in the past where people didn't define maybe the rules for certain services correctly, and hackers found creative way to exploit existing loopholes. So this is all about it. So be aware of these facts, be very careful. I think DeFi is great in general because it gives you huge opportunities to earn. So you can combine different platforms. You can use yield farming and so on and so on. Low and boring system. It's also a lot of roles. So you can be a lender or borrower. If you have a lot of money and you want to have smaller risks, of course, you give a loan. If you want to earn more and faster, then you borrow funds. So it's everything up to you. I think the greatest thing in DeFi that it gives people opportunities, and huge ones, and the variety, and a lot of projects are appearing, and so on and so on. So, but if you prefer centralized exchanges or maybe centralized finance, and you, after watching this video, understand that cryptocurrency is not for you at all, okay, it's good for you, it's great anyway, but still, you now know more about DeFi in general. I hope I helped you in this. So thank you very much. Have a great day and goodbye.